Hello class, my name is Jacob Templeton. I'm going to do my discussion question video on child development, focusing both on adolescence through the teenage years. That was something that I really found interested in this course. Couple things to notice, I'm a youth pastor, so when I came into this I didn't know a lot about kids and didn't know much about teenagers, but honestly this class has been great, and I took a different approach maybe. I took the things that I learned from the psychology class and I put them into three areas. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the things that I already had observed in ministry that this course really helped me to see. So like things that I noticed in adolescents were they had lower attention spans, they had increase in the ability to get distracted over anything. Development of identity was something that they were trying to do, but you almost had to build in them. And opposites on teens, like observed in one of the videos that we were talking or that we went through in this course, there was an increase in social awkwardness and a continuation of them trying to solidify their identity. But also they made strange and rash decisions, and I really struggled to understand what was going on and how to apply these things, and ultimately how to teach to these different kinds of kids different ways to be able to teach them. And then this course really opened it up when we got into the development phase and like chapter 5 and stuff like that. I noticed, how can I take what I'm learning and apply it in ministry as the different pieces of their brains are developing in different times. And I saw as we went through different courses and different areas, it would go through that certain pieces of the brain were being developed in certain times, which would give reasons and hormones being released in these different periods, specifically in the view of teenagers and things like that, giving a reason why. So taking all of these things, going from the adolescence time period, I was able to take and build lessons that took visual and auditory inputs and were be able to help them be able to grasp the information better, to better adapt the lessons to their developmental period. So during the adolescence piece, I began to teach verbally while trying to maintain excitement and being vocal to where I could keep their attention and solve the distraction problems. But also, afterwards I would do it with puppets to where the kids could visually see the stories that I was representing. And this helped extremely when it came to keeping their attention and focus. On the teenager side, I took the application of their brains, trying to process them, trying to be independent, things that they were trying to do to be able to gear lessons towards that. And through this psychology course, I was able to create lessons and stuff that helped ask them a lot more questions, let them use their minds and address these problems, give them deeper questions so that they could wrestle with and have them be able to input their own thoughts to where their thoughts had importance. And so I saw them begin to respond in lessons and classes and begin to ask questions that maybe they struggled with, that they were afraid to ask because they didn't want to feel stupid or all of those things. And like I said, the increase in the social awkwardness, there was that little wave to be able to get over once they understood, hey, it's okay to be able to do this. It was very helpful. I also, you've always heard the cliche that there is no wrong or stupid question, and really took that, was patient with them as they went through their questions and explained why some decisions might not be, if they were making rash decisions, why it might not be right, using the Bible to show them different areas that would help them. So applying the psychology that we learned in ministry was very helpful. And then ultimately the outcome of psychology in ministry. The outcome obviously was measurable increase among adolescents in memorization. They could do Bible verses. They retained the information over weeks. Drastic increases in the retention of the information, even between weeks. At first you'd say, hey, what did we talk about last week? The kids would have no idea. But using the psychology and how they develop and how those brains are moving and using those visual and audio cues and emphasis and voice and stuff, they were able to retain it over multiple weeks, sometimes 2 and 3 weeks out. Teenagers, there was an increase in confidence that their questions were okay and it was all right. The increase in problem solving and ultimately an increase in involvement. Thank you so much. This was a wonderful class so far and look forward to more.